Another really exciting milestone you guys have kind of done at the same time is raising capital. So as an investor, that's something I've been looking at. I think it's you raised about $8 million
Yeah.
in the past month. That's probably the largest raise you've ever done, or up there.
Besides our IPO, yeah. So,
Wow.
and it's certainly the largest raise we've done since we went public in September of 2017. Gives us runway to accomplish what we think are some very significant forward steps for the venture.
Yeah, that must be really exciting. So now you guys, can you tell us a little bit about what you're planning to do with that money and how it's going to impact the production rate?
Well, yeah. So the big high level goals for the venture over the sort of foreseeable future. One, we want to make sure that our early customers are very happy with the product, that we deliver a very high quality product to our early adopters and to early media, because that's really going to set the tone for the perception of the product in the market over the foreseeable future.
Yep.
We need to do a lot of work to bring our own cost of goods sold down. So we're anticipating that somewhere in targeting Q2 of next year, we'll be at positive gross margins, and then our push is to get to basically a 20% gross margin as quickly as we possibly can, and that will obviously allow us to really be in scale, because you can't make it up in volume if you have negative margins.
Yep.
But
True.
But a lot of that is, that is process optimization. That's going through every single piece of the bill of materials and making sure that we have the right approach to each part and the right supplier for each part. And then ultimately there is going to be some work that's going to come online in sort of like the 12 months out time frame. That's going to be a substantial simplification of some of the major drivetrain components. So it's the big goals are increase volume, decrease cost, and then open up multiple rental outlets, rental franchises in the early part of next year, so that we can really begin to get a sense for what the financial actuals are for the rental first business model. And that's going to inform not only how quickly we can scale the franchise model, but really ultimately whether we want to be focused on franchises or focused on owning our own rental stores over the long haul.
Yeah, that was actually my next question. Are you planning to put up the capital to make these company owned, or the first Arcimoto is a partnership where you kind of franchised it, right?
Yeah. So and we right now we've really laid out three different pathways. One is partnering with existing vehicle rental companies, and you see that with our partnership with Go-Kart Tours in San Francisco. They've already got facilities, they've got their own branding, they just need a better tour vehicle, and we believe that the Fun Utility vehicle is going to be an awesome way to experience and tour San Francisco. So
yeah,
that's a very
really
natural partnership. The franchise model is where a partner takes our branding, our technologies, we co-market, and then they're sort of like you can sort of imagine if it were Hertz. Hertz franchises their rental outlets. It still looks like Hertz, but it's run by an independent operator. And then the final one would be stores that we ourselves own that are renting vehicles in destinations that are meaningful. And so the real advantage of the existing rental operation or a franchise rental is that we're able to leverage our partners' market expertise, capital in the areas that they're in, and we don't have to spend our sort of preciously guarded resources on every single one of those deployments. At the point that rental model shows that if it should show that it is a great business opportunity, then capital for spinning up rental outlets becomes much easier to acquire.
Okay.
And at that point, it would make a lot more sense for us to be owning and operating those stores. So in that scenario, our early franchisees get the benefit of being some of the only ones out there who have that opportunity. And so depending on where we land on that spectrum, we'll shift more or less of the resources in that direction.
Cool.